Good morning, everyone. This is with Stu Ellis with his report on this morning on back roads of Illinois. Here's Stu Ellis with his report.
Hello again, everyone. This is Stu Ellis, swinging open the farm gate for you once again today. And we want to take a look at the ag economy as seen by the ag economists who work for the various Federal Reserve banks around the Midwest. They have had a lot of input into what the Federal Reserve Board of Governors is going to be considering next Tuesday and Wednesday when it meets again to consider, what they're going to do with interest rates. The Federal Reserve's Open Market Committee is going to be looking at the Beige Book, which reflects the Fed economists and what they know about the ag economy. Now, the Chicago Fed, which represents the northern two-thirds of Illinois, indicates that expectations for the 7th district farm incomes for 2023 deteriorated as drought expanded throughout the district. One of the commercial bankers told a Fed economist that it's time to be concerned, but too soon to panic. Crops were behind normal growing process, and expectations for this year's corn crop worsened more than for soybeans because corn is more sensitive to drought at this growth stage. Crop prices were volatile during the reporting period, which is the last 6 weeks. While corn prices ended down, soybean prices were up and wheat prices were about the same. Some input costs were lower. Prices for milk were down once again, extending losses for dairy farms. And although hog prices moved up some, producers continued to struggle to turn a profit. Cattle prices made further gains as drought limited water and forage availability, forcing farmers to trim their herd sizes. The St. Louis Fed, which represents the southern third of Illinois, indicates that agricultural conditions in its district declined moderately relative to the previous reporting period. Between the end of May and the end of June, the percentages of corn, rice, soybeans, cotton, all rated fair or better, saw slight to moderate decreases across the district. Compared with this time last year, overall crop conditions have declined moderately, they say. Crop conditions both began lower and decreased more over the period when compared with this time last year. And with the exception of cotton, which increased modestly, they say, all the individual crop conditions were worse compared with last year. Contacts in the commercial bankers in the Little Rock region, which also is represented within the St. Louis Fed District, reported some anxiety about an expiring farm bill later this year. While commodity prices remain high, generally, some have begun retreating while input and fuel costs remain high, leading to profitability concerns as we enter the second half of the year. And so that's what the St. Louis Fed economist told the Board of Governors and the U.S. Fed that's going to be meeting next Tuesday and Wednesday. The Minneapolis Fed District Ag economist indicated that agricultural conditions weakened slightly since the last report. Most of the corn and soybean crop was reportedly in good or excellent condition in the northern corn belt. Wheat crops were in worse shape as the harvest approached. Persistent drought conditions in the eastern part of the northern corn belt, particularly in South Dakota, improved slightly with recent precipitation. And the ag economists out of Kansas City, which represents Missouri and states to the west in the 10th district, were reportedly steady through June. Price of most major commodities increased moderately from the previous month as drought intensified in major crop production areas across the nation. Expectations for dry conditions to reduce yields push prices higher, but lower production could limit revenues for some farmers, they say. Through mid-June, an average of about 15% of corn and bean acreage, nearly 30% of winter wheat were in poor or very poor condition across all of the states in the Fed district. Dry weather also continued to limit a lot of grass and feed supplies for livestock. Let's look at the farm economy as the Fed district economists see it. This is Stu Ellis. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, Stu, for this report on the crop conditions and economic. I will be interviewing with Chip N for next week. You want to stay tuned. About grain deal with Russia and Ukraine. This time is check the markets. Yeah. Corn is down at 5.36. Beans is doing not so good at 1482. How about the wheat? Wheat is 7, 11. This is Morning Commodity Markets. With me for this morning, you've been listening to Back Roads of Illinois. I am Cesar Delgado. Have a great day.